everyone, welcome to another speed build. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I hope you had a lovely weekend. So today I am building another home for my current household, the Pepper family that I play on Tumblr. I've talked about them hundreds of times before. I've built them several houses, or previous generations of this family. I've built them several houses before. So this house is for generation 5. It's for the sim that I'm playing with. Her name's Eva and her family. So it's a pretty big house. It's on it's quite a small lot, but it's in Copperdale. There aren't that many big lots. This one I think had the rental lot on before, and I didn't want to delete any of the pre-made families in this world because I didn't want to get rid of them. I wanted them to stay where they were and, you know, have my sims interact with them. So I thought this slot was probably the best place to put this house for me to actually play in it. And I don't remember how many bedrooms the rental lot had, but I wanted to build my own anyway, and so I built this one. It's taken me a little while. I have tried to build this house several times, and this is kind of where we ended up, and to be honest I am pretty pleased with it, so hopefully you will like it too. It's a 5-bedroom house. It has 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. 2 of them are en suites and one of them is like a shared bathroom for the other 3 bedrooms. So yeah, it's quite big considering the lot is quite small. There's the tiniest of tiny gardens that I have put to like the side of it, and there isn't really that much going on out there. I've put a swing set and like a table and chairs, and that's about it. I couldn't really fit any more out there. But I think that it is plenty for this family. They don't really do all that much outside, and there's so many things to do in this world anyway, at least, you know, for my particular family. So I think they will be just fine living here. So I probably could put this in Brindleton Bay too. The style that I went with, I was having a look through Pinterest and I was like searching up like coastal homes and different things like that, and I was getting quite a lot of this style of home up, which is like a Dutch colonial kind of style, and it kept on saying like it was a style that was prominent in like New England and places like that, which I don't really know anything about America, so I don't know where that is. But hopefully if you do, you can tell me whether that's right or wrong. I'm not sure, but I liked the style of it, and I liked the way that most of the pictures showed the interior was decorated. Very light, quite a lot of pale blues and green, and a little bit of yellow, which I really liked. So I wanted to try and kind of carry that across into this build too, so hopefully I've done it justice. Some of the bedrooms, all of the bedrooms actually, I've tried to theme them a little bit. Not so much the downstairs bedroom, which I had in mind for Eva, but the 4 bedrooms upstairs, I've tried to give them a little bit more of a theme than just, you know, standard child's bedroom or standard toddler bedroom, you know. So actually the toddler bedroom doesn't really have that much of a theme other than rainbow because they're not born yet. But the others, I think I've done like a boho kind of style teen room for the teen in this household. She isn't actually Eva's daughter, she's actually Eva's younger sister, so I'll give you a kind of backstory on them. So when Eva was a child, unfortunately her mum got struck by lightning out in the garden. I don't know why, but she decided that she was going to go and fix the stereo out in the garden and got struck by lightning. And so that left Eva and her dad by themselves, and it wasn't until Eva had aged up into a teen that her dad then reconnected with his high school boyfriend, and they got married and adopted a baby, which is Eva's adoptive younger sister. But unfortunately they both passed away before she was able to age up into a young adult, so she has moved in with Eva and currently her 2 children. and her husband. And the challenge that I'm playing, it says that they need to have twins. So that's the kind of next big challenge for me, or the next big hurdle for me, is to try and get them to have twins. So I have decorated the toddler bedroom for twins, but they currently don't exist in the game yet, so I'm just going to be hopeful. I've got like the fertility reward tray and the online line lot is it lot challenge or lot tray in my game, not in this particular one. And I'm hoping that they just won't have triplets. They'll just have twins, because I don't know if I can handle 3 toddlers at once. Two is plenty. But the other bedroom is for my next generation heir, which is Gen 6 heir, and he doesn't really have like a definitive personality type when it comes to bedroom themes, if that makes sense. So like, you know, you can do with like a space theme or like a sports theme or that sort of thing. He's my evil mastermind sim, or you know, the evil villain generation. So I've just decorated it as like a sports kind of theme because I was looking through the chair swatches from the high school pack, you know, like the gamer desk chairs, and one of them had like a basketball like picture on the back of it, and it was blue and orange, and I thought that it was just a nice color combination that I hadn't really done before. So I found a bed from the base game, which it didn't have basketballs on it, it had baseballs on it. So I thought, wow, that's kind of okay. And then I found the wallpaper from the Parenthood pack that's got, I think it's a basketball, a baseball, and maybe like a football or a rugby ball or something on it. So I thought, well, that's good. At least I can combine all 3 things in one wallpaper. And he can just do, you know, maybe he can join the football club or something when he's a teen or something. I don't know. We haven't got that far yet, but I thought it was just interesting for me to try out different bedroom themes and things that I might not get a chance to do for a little while, especially with this family, because you know, each generation is a different theme or like a different pack, so I'm kind of limited to what I can choose. I mean, obviously I can do any generation in any order that I want, but trying to follow the rules of the challenge, I want to try and do it in order. So I think after Gen 6, I think Gen 7's like the hero generation, so you do like the Strange Reveal mystery and things like that, and then after that it's maybe like the chef one, I don't remember. But I think it's really cool that I can do lots of different aspirations, lots of different careers and personality types all in, you know, one challenge. It's a pretty big challenge. It's got like 25 generations in it, which, to be honest, for somebody like me who doesn't really have that good of a track record in playing with the same family, like this is the longest I've ever played with one family. And I played I think I started this family in like May of last year, because I dragged out the first generation because I really wanted to play with cottage living when it came out, because it was like the farmer generation, so I dragged it out like an extra 2 months. So I think you can kind of roughly work out how long I've been playing with each generation, since I'm on generation 5 now. So yeah. But I am having so much fun, and I am so invested in them now that I get kind of sad when it comes to moving on to the next generation, because I want to like continue playing with them. But once they've finished like their aspiration, I'm kind of stuck with like, well, that's the challenge for this generation over, you know. I haven't really got much more to do with them. They've got to the top of their career, they've completed the aspirations, for the generation, and some of them I've added like an extra 1 or 2. I think generation 2, which was like the business generation, I carried on playing with him because he managed to complete his aspiration and get to the top of the business career in literally like a couple of sim weeks. And my generation 3 Air was still a toddler or something at the time, so I then had to add in like 2 or 3 more aspirations. I gave him like another job, and so I did kind of drag that one out a little bit too. But that wasn't by choice, that was just because, you know, I hadn't completed the next generation's childhood aspirations, if that makes sense. So yeah, but I'm kind of just talking over the whole of this house now. So we're already inside. I've done all the landscaping, and I think I go back and do the terrain paint like after I've done the furniture, or at least after I've done the first floor, because I recorded this over 2 days, and then I kind of cut out the little bits and pieces that I did after I turned off the recording the first day, and then kind of started on the second day. So there's a couple of bits and pieces that I just kind of cut out the recording because they weren't very interesting. The landscaping being one of them. So usually I do, or landscaping should I say, the terrain paint being one of them. So as most of you probably know, these sorts of family homes or like suburban type homes aren't really something that I feel 100% comfortable doing, or I don't really have like a lot of confidence in my ability to build these sorts of houses. I prefer doing like fantasy homes and like the castle that I did last week, and like I've got another one I think hopefully coming the end of this week, but I start a new job tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to get it edited by Friday, but we'll see. So yeah, I kind of second guess my decisions and my choices and things when it comes to furnishing and what looks good, because, you know, obviously everybody's opinion on interior furnishing and color scheme is different, so I just kind of go with what I think looks good at the time, even though my default choice would be something that's got, you know, a lot of, I don't know, detail on it and a lot of pattern on it, like those things that we get from like the vampire pack, for example, because I really love all the detail that's in those things, but they don't necessarily fit into a suburban home. But I can put them into like a fantasy house or like a witch's cottage or something, and you know, you can't say that it's wrong because it's a fantasy house. It's just based on my own, you know, imagination and things like that. So yeah, when it comes to things like this, I tend to, I don't know, just feel a little bit more nervous about it. I don't know why I'm nervous about it, but that's just kind of how I feel. But because this is for my own gameplay, I kind of didn't feel quite so uncomfortable because, you know, I don't need to worry about whether anyone likes it or not, because it's just for me. So otherwise I'm like, oh, I don't know whether like everyone's gonna like, or not everyone, but I don't know whether the majority of people are going to like this color scheme that I've picked, or whether they're, you know, gonna like the, I don't know, the siding that I put on the outside of the house. You know, it's just silly things that go through my mind that I'm sure I'm not the only one, but so yeah, when it came to this one, I was like, it doesn't really matter because it's just for me. So I felt a little bit more, I don't know, comfortable, a little bit more attached to this house, even though I haven't even started playing in it yet. So this floor plan, I wasn't really sure whether like this entry room, for example, was too big. So when I was trying to do the floor plan earlier, you might have seen I did the upstairs first, and I tried to figure out where I wanted the stairs to place, and I kind of just went from there. I did try out a different floor plan like before I started before I finished recording the rest of the floor plan. I tried out another one, but it removed one of the bedrooms upstairs, even though it made the downstairs a little bit smaller. I think that's like the main trouble that I have, is I always try and build these huge houses, or should I say I try and make them not look big but still be big on the inside, if that makes sense. So I will try and do like all of the outside and make it look quite small, and then when it comes to inside, I'm like, oh, I've got this tiny little like 2x4 box that I'm trying to make into a bedroom, which I can't do. So I tried to make this one a little bit bigger on the outside, but obviously because I had all of the roofing to deal with, that meant that the downstairs was quite a lot bigger than I had originally intended. So the upstairs I'm super happy with, you know, all the bedrooms are a really decent size, and then when you come downstairs you've got this huge entryway, this giant lounge room that I was like, I need to like just fill it up with stuff because it just looks so big. The entryway especially, the kitchen, I mean the kitchen's enormous but there's the kind of thing that you just have to deal with if you try and do the roofing like I did, because otherwise you just end up with all of this, you know, awkward space that you can't really work with, and that's really not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it playable and hopefully it doesn't look silly. So above this bed I do put this picture that I do end up changing out to a mirror from, I think it's the Decor to the Max kit. It's like a really wide mirror, and I was trying to match things to the bed that I've used. It's got some really light like gold colored details to it, which I thought these I think they're from the Paranormal pack. These side tables worked really well, and is it the dresser, is that what it's called? It didn't really have the right color swatches, and I don't think it's meant to match this bed exactly, even though it comes from the same pack. I think it's meant to go with the one that's got like a solid headboard on it, so you know, you understand why it doesn't match exactly, but you can kind of see like the gold is quite a lot darker, but I think it still looks really nice in here. I did think about putting a clock on the wall. I think you saw me put that there earlier, but I think I just end up putting a picture up here because, like I said, I'm going to play in this house, and most of the pictures that I've put on the walls are just placeholders for my own family photos, so there wasn't really, I can't put them in. I mean, I could have done just for the video, but I thought, well, I'll just put them in as like placeholders, upload it to the gallery, and then download it from the gallery to put into my other save file and then I'll, you know, add all of the personalized bits and pieces, because I build my houses in like a special build save, or like a specific build save file, so that if anything were to go wrong with me, you know, changing the time with MC Command Center, it doesn't mess up my houses and like the lifespan of my families and things which I know has been a real issue at the moment. And generally, you know, if I feel like I've not got enough time with them before they're aging up or something, then I will just turn aging off. But most of the time I play on normal lifespan, so I've been a little bit reluctant to play with them just in case they suddenly, you know, age up. I could just age them back down. I don't want to mess around with it. So yeah, this bedroom is for Marley, Eva's adoptive younger sister, and I don't really know what her personality's like, because I moved Eva out when Marley was like only just a child, and then moved her back in, and she's got like a couple days of being a teen left before I'm gonna, you know, age her up and move her out. So I just went with this like, yeah, boho kind of theme. I really liked this particular bed cover, and I thought it was just like a nice gardeny type room. This is one of the bedrooms that has an ensuite bathroom. I didn't show the other two in the video because they're all the same. But yeah, I really like the way this one looks. I really love the flowers and the blue and the yellow, and it's just, I don't know, to me it's like something that I would want my bedroom to look like. Or now, at least. When I was a teenager, I think it was like pink, maybe it was purple, I'm not sure. And then as I kind of got into my early 20s, I painted all of the walls like apple green and everything was just green and white, and you know, lots of plants everywhere. So quite a big personality change in terms of bedroom decor, I think, but that's just the way it is, I think, when you're a teenager. Which is another thing that I don't understand about the aspirations, or not the aspirations, sorry, the sim traits in the game. And obviously if you enable cheats and you go into cast, you can change your sim traits, but I feel like especially for children and teenagers, their traits would change as they get older. They wouldn't just add another one, like they would change altogether. Like most teenagers are messy, you know, they're not particularly slobby, but they're just messy. But then as you get older, maybe your job requires you to be very neat and tidy, or maybe you just develop that habit that you're just very neat and tidy. So, you know, that sort of thing, you change as you get older. So it seems very strange that you're stuck with the traits that you choose as a child into your, you know, adult and elder years. So I do like to change my Sims personalities up just a little bit. Occasionally I will give them, you know, like a childish trait or something when they're a child, and then I'll give them the creative trait when they're a teenager instead, when they've suddenly decided that they like art class, you know, so they want to do some painting. And then maybe they decide when they age up into a young adult that was just a hobby and they're not really interested in it anymore, or they don't have time to do art anymore and they just kind of grow out of it, you know. So I do like to change it up just a little bit. It does mean a little bit more work for me and a little bit confusing when it comes to my personalities for my Sims, I guess. But it just seems more realistic to me, so I do like to do that. So this room is very, very girly in my opinion. But the Sim that lives in this house is also adopted. This is Eva's adopted daughter, and she is just, you know, very girly. She's a very girly Sim, and I haven't really played with like a really girly Sim for a while, so it was really nice to have that kind of personality for me to play with in this one, even though she's not the heir to the next generation. I do still really like playing with, you know, the kids in the houses as they grow up, even if it's only for like a couple of Sim weeks, you know. So this bedroom is for Liam, my generation 6 heir. So like I said, I was trying to look through the different chairs and I found this orange one which has got like a basketball player on the back, and I was looking through the different swatches of beds and came across this base game one. Like I said, it's got baseballs on it. So what is it, footballs, baseballs, and I can't see, it's moving too fast. Basketballs, yeah, so I was kind of right. And the rug that came with the Parenthood pack kind of looks like a basketball court too. I think there's a football one, like a football pitch rug, but I liked the orange of this one, and I think the other one was green, which didn't really fit. So I have decorated it for kind of like a gamer or like a streamer, just to give him something to do when he ages up, because there isn't really much for him to do in his teenage years as far as the challenge goes. So most of it would be, you know, mischief things. So I thought it would like troll the forums and you know, do things like that, but there's only so many interactions you can do until they age up into a teen and an adult. So like, you know, he's obviously going to pull lots of pranks and things, but then when he's an adult he can join the criminal career, and that's kind of where most of the challenge is. But at the moment there isn't really very much for him to do other than just be mean to people. So I wanted to give him something, you know. So I thought maybe he's just into gaming, maybe he just likes playing sports games or something, I don't know. And that's just his personality whilst he's a child and a teen, and that will change when he is a young adult into the, you know, the challenge personality. I think that's probably the best way for me to work with it at the moment. For the rest of the lights in this bedroom, I put a couple of those strip lights that we got with the high school pack on the wall above the bookcase behind this desk, or like on the opposite wall to this desk up here. I tried to keep the lighting quite, not minimal, but you know, a little bit more natural. So in this bedroom, like I said, these two twins haven't been born yet, so I have no idea if I'm even going to have twins. I might have triplets, which I really hope I don't. But hopefully it is twins. but like I said, they're not born. I have no idea who they are, who their personalities are, so I've just kind of gone with a nice toddler rainbowy themed room with clouds and, you know, a nice rainbow rug and just a bunch of toys and things that, you know, just are nice and toddlery, if that's even a word, toddlery. But I'll probably change it up when they're born, when I see what their personalities are like, and go from there. So this is the last room I decorate. I think I go back downstairs and add like some rocks to the garden or something, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. It is on the gallery already, and the tray files will be on Tumblr at some point, maybe tomorrow. Usually is the time that I upload the tray files, is usually like the next day. So yeah, you can find all of the information in down below in the description, where my link tree is, and you know, everything else that you need to know is probably down there too. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you all hopefully on Friday for my next castle build. Yeah, bye everyone.
There's no place I'd rather be than here with you. That's all I need. There's no one I'd rather see close to me.